Hey everyone! Now, I never expected to stream this week, but I realized I could totally still do that. And so here I am. How's everyone doing? Oh my god. I decided to add a new furry visual novel to the roster. And that's gonna be Remember the Flowers! Oh my god. Okay. First off, full disclosure, backstory, whatever. I have read Remember the Flowers. I have. Um I stopped I stopped. I forgot which build I stopped at. I do know like the specific story, the specific like story beats, but I don't know like the specific builds I stopped at. So yeah, so I figured, you know what? I need to finish this game. I need to like finish this game anyway, so might as well add it to my roster on my live streams so I can actually have an excuse to play it more. So yeah, so I do know what happens until I get caught up to the build I was last left off on. Also, this is gonna be a little bit of a more. I'm probably gonna end this somewhere around like. Well, like if the time is right, I'm going to end it at around like 10:30 ish and 10:30 or something because I have work at 11, so that's fun. Anyway, let's see. I'm just checking the desktop audio to see if it's good. Hmm. But yeah. Anyway, enough fucking around. We're gonna get started with this. Okay. Hi, Cooper. Let's go. Let's do this. Oh yeah, they also have chapter. Okay, how many chapters are there? Okay. I literally forgot which chapter I left off on, so. Okay, let's check our preferences, what we have here. Voice volume. Oh yeah, if you guys want to play this for yourself, you can also have the game in simplified Chinese and traditional Chinese. That's really cool. Skip OC text. Okay, that's pretty good. Anyway, let's go ahead and start. Oh, by the way, I bought stevia. I have my strawberry mango tea with me now, so my throat should be feeling great. Okay. Hey, he's losing a lot of blood. Are you sure it's a good idea to just leave him? Of course not, but we can't get back to the in vehicle while all those guards are around. But we can at least. It'll be fine. We'll just keep him covered. Hey, help me move those crates. I feel like I'm slipping in and out of consciousness. Where am I? Why can't I open my eyes? Hey, don't worry. You'll be okay. Who? Shh. Just rest. We'll be back soon. I can feel him lift my head and wrap something tight around it, before placing something soft between me and the wall behind me. Though I have to do for first aid. Okay, let's move out. Right. Wait, where you going? Where? Something hard hits my forehead, causing me to jerk my head up. If my lectures are so boring, feel free to leave. I looked at my desk. He threw a chopstick at me. We're on the third row of the lecture hall, too. I don't know if I should be impressed or annoyed. Maybe I'm a little bit of both. Sorry, sir, I must have dozed off. I don't need you to tell me that. As a doctor, I hope not. I muttered to myself. What was that? Nothing, nothing. And with that, my professor stops and turns back toward the board, pulling a new stick of chalk from the box. What a geezer. Chapter 1, Freedom! Freedom! Yeah, freedom! I picked up the bit he threw at me. If I had some more confidence in my aim, I'd throw it right back at him. Hey, I know what you're thinking. I turned to my right, to Diana. You always seem to. It's not worth it. I know, but you can get back at him by proving yourself on the upcoming test. I forgot about that. The past few nights have been kind of a blur on account of... Were you up practicing again? Maybe. Diana sighs at that, to which I grimace. You know, you've really nailed your impression of my mom. Well, what do you expect? You stay up all night every night. Who wouldn't be concerned about that? I know, I know. She's right, as much as I don't want to admit it. Sorry, I'm still adjusting to this new program, and I'm trying to figure out how to weave in my own personal projects. Diana pauses before placing an arm on my shoulder. No, don't be sorry. I shouldn't be nagging you, at least not this much. I laugh. No, I kind of appreciate it. It shows you care. Well, I'm glad that's coming through. I've always been a bit worried about you. You and me both. At the very least, you seem to be absorbing a lot of the information being thrown at you. It's almost unfair how well you do on the exams with how little you study. It's all thanks to you. You helped me a lot with figuring out my study habits. Clearly not enough. How much sleep did you get last night? Irrelevant. I'm sure. I tried to yawn discreetly into my hand, but I guess it wasn't discreet enough as our professor whips around and zeroes in on us. I could feel Diana's arm tense up on my shoulder, as if we got caught doing something promiscuous. Something I should be made aware of, you two? Well... Diana stands out. Oh, well, you see, he was just helping me understand the new material about the frontal cortex. I was having trouble wrapping my head around it. She's trying to play it off. Oh? Is that so? Diana, I expected better from you. And to not associate with anyone who could drag you down. I feel myself getting heated. Who the hell does this dick think he is? Would the fine gentleman like to stand up and share with the rest of the class? I'm giving him like that Mr. White voice from Class of '09, just because. It's kind of funny. Huh. Wait, is my thing still going? Just checking something real quick. Okay. There are some whispers and murmurs across the room, all directed at us. I look at my peripheral. Diana has that, oh, I fucked up look on her face. Still, I stand up. With all due respect, sir, which isn't much, I'm aware you're on tenure, but I don't think it's wise to force your job on your unemployed students. Or did you forget how much our tuition costs, along with giving a proper explanation on the frontal cortex? Gasps erupt from the rest of the class. I feel hot in the face, but I'm keeping cool. I can't say the same for our professor. I think he just snapped his new stick of chalk in two. I can see him squirm to find some kind of legal retort. Tenure or not, I'm pretty sure throwing shit at me is grounds for removal. Maybe not, but I'm not going to crack for the likes of him. I've shifted my hand to my hip. I'm waiting, Professor. Now he's the one looking red in the face, more so out of anger. I bet that's the most blood flow he's done in quite a while. He grumbles something insulting under his breath before turning to angrily write with his now broken chalk. Hey! That's what I thought, asshole. Sit back down and take a deep breath. I'm not cut out for these kinds of performances. Neither is Diana. We looked at each other, somewhat mortified, before bursting out of laughter. is thankfully covered by the bell. I helped Diana gather her notes. She has a real knack for organized chaos. I guess I've rubbed off on her as well. We made our way out of the lecture hall, still laughing. Glad to see you've been taking notes from Damien. Oh yeah, how so? Well, you were a pretty timid guy growing up. I remember having to beat up your bullies for you. To be fair, you were pretty good at Kung Fu. Damn right! She shows off a standard kick. I have to admit, I wish I had her coordination. What's your point, though? Well, let's see. How long have you been dating Damien? I think our first anniversary is coming up. Oh, wait, really? I'll need to plan something. Anyways. Wait, don't change the subject. Anyways, as I was saying, you were pretty quiet growing up. Sure, you kind of grew out of it a bit, but once you met him, you started getting, I don't know, more confident? What can I say? He's my better half. I give an exaggerated gay sigh, to which Diana snorts. Well, he certainly has left an impression on you. I guess being around the star of the college basketball team will do that to you. Oh my god, stop. Someone's gonna hear you. I try to shush her, but she just covers another laugh with her hands. It gives you guys some more confidence to build. Besides, weren't you on the Jumbotron together at the end of the last game? I think you're doing the phone call. Diana crosses her arms as I struggle to pull my phone out. She has a knowing expression on her face. I slide my phone on and hold it to my face. Hello? Oh, hey mom. Yeah, no, school's doing great. Yeah? Yeah, no, I'm still adjusting, but it's going okay. And then my phone starts actually ringing and vibrating in my hand, ruining my attempt at fooling Diana. Who am I kidding? Who'd be fooled by that? I think your phone's ringing. Thank you for telling me. I'll be picking it up now. I give a slightly annoyed huff as I actually go to answer a phone call. It's from Damien, and my face immediately brightens. Oh my god. Anyway, hello? Oh my god, Damien, hi! God damn it. And that's why I always have my phone on silent. Period. Same here. Oh, Damien, you'd be husband material if you weren't dead. Oop. People who haven't seen this are going to be spoiled. People who haven't read this are going to be spoiled. Oh my fucking god, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. God damn it. God damn it. It was on instinct. Oh my fucking god. I mean, what are you talking about? Like, everyone's perfectly fine. This is great. This is a happy-go-lucky game. Nothing bad happens to any of these people. Not at all. Anyway, let's just continue before I shoot myself in the foot even more. Okay. Hey, so your call. We're about to head out for our afternoon run and didn't have time to text. I just wanted to know if we're still on for tomorrow night. No worries, and yeah, I'll make sure everything's ready. You make sure to drink plenty of water, okay? Okay, you got it, dude. See you at the cafeteria for dinner. You know it. Love you. Stay safe. Love you too. The exaggerated smooch Damien makes is loud enough for Diana to hear. I almost cringe, but eventually do the same thing for him. I could hear him giggle before hanging up. I sigh happily as I stuff my phone in my pocket before turning my attention towards Diana. What? You guys are so cute. She's holding her cheek, gushing over us as she usually does. Stop. It's true though. Ah, young love. Diana giggles again. With that, we continue our walk back to the dorms. So, what you got planned for tomorrow? It's a secret. Oh. Don't get any ideas. Oh, I would never. I roll my eyes at that before I get my phone out to show something to her. We're going to a show tomorrow. Ooh, exciting. Kinda surprised. I didn't know you were into that kind of scene. I'm really not, but Damien was so excited that this band was coming to town, I couldn't say no. He is so me. But he is so me for real. I pause. Also, I do want to get out of my comfort zone, even if it's just a little bit. But I get you. Do you guys need a DD? Wouldn't hurt. You sure you wouldn't mind? Not at all. I got tomorrow off. I'll text Damien to let him know. Thanks, Diana. I appreciate it. Of course! We chat about this and that for a little while longer before coming to the split between the dorms. They're not co-ed, so we don't actually live together. Oh, before I forget, do you want to visit the greenhouse this weekend? I don't know. I'll have to see how I'm feeling the next morning. You're not going to have a 2-day hangover. How about Sunday afternoon? I sigh through my nose. Can't get around it. I have been skipping out helping Diana this past few weekends while figuring out everything on this side of the campus. I'm already hanging with Damien Friday night, and I do her one now. There's really no excuse. Yeah, sure, see you Sunday. Want to meet for lunch then head over? It's a date! I'll see you then! Yeah, sounds good. We wave to each other as we walk down our respective paths home. As usual, I wave to the dorm mother. She is mother. As usual, I skip the faulty elevator and take the stairs. As usual, I make my way home into my dorm room. I've only been here for about a month, but at least I've got this routine down pat. Being in the master's program has its perks. I call it a dorm room, but it's almost like an apartment, complete with a kitchenette. What's best is I have the place to myself. Well, mostly. Damien spends the night a lot too. I toss my bag on the couch before grabbing a glass of water, promptly chugging it. I'm not used to the summer heat around here. As I strip off my overshirt, I look toward the bathroom. I kind of want to take a shower right now, but decide to do it at my usual time right before bed. I sleep better that way. I say that, but I'm gearing up for my afternoon nap without any distractions. I pluck at my phone, briefly laying out the pic of Damien holding me up from behind as I flail in his grasp. I smile at it before flopping face first into my squishy pillow, not even bothering to pull over the blankets. It's still a bit too hot for that. My eyelids start to get heavy and I fall asleep from my afternoon nap. Damn. What's that like? There's a strange ringing in my head. It's quiet, but just loud enough that I can't ignore it. I'm having trouble opening my eyes. How long was I out? It almost feels like a headache, but it's concentrated only in the back. Lifting my arm is a struggle too. Wait, am I sitting? A groan escapes my dry throat. How long have I been sitting like this? With all of my might, I lift my hands up to my face and try to rub my eyes open with my palms. Wait, what is all of this I'm feeling? I pull it and it tugs on my scalp. It's my hair. I'm not loose enough to panic quite yet, or maybe I am and this is just a weird dream. In any case, after some more rubbing, I managed to crack my eyes open. Welcome to Cyberpunk Edge Runners! I'm sitting in an alleyway I've never seen before. Even moving my eyes to look around is a struggle at first. I just woke up, but I already feel exhausted. I take a few breaths, which is somewhat alarming. I thought you couldn't breathe in dreams. Regardless, little by little, I start moving what I can. I can wiggle my toes and move my arms. I kind of need to move them as my hair is getting in the way of my vision. I can hold my bangs down to nearly my sternum. The length isn't what's most concerning, though, is the fact that my hair is almost an unnatural shade of white. That aside, I try to feel around. I'm against a wall, and my next goal is to try to stand up. My joints pop like mad. Seriously, how long have I been sitting here like this? It should not be this hard just to stand up, but my knees are trembling. Nearly hugging the wall with my side, I managed to stand up, albeit quite hunched over. Something slides off of me, but before I can look down to see what it is, I start to stumble. I jerk a bit as a wave of disorientation washes over me. My vision blurs, I can see stars. I feel dizzy and I can't keep my breathing steady. It doesn't hurt. Nothing does. Not even the sudden upchuck of stomach acid I expel onto the ground below me. I clutch my stomach as I fall to my knees, breathing erratic. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, but I feel like it should. I'm more confused than scared. I don't have enough time to process what little information I have as I throw up whatever was left in my stomach. It just smells like acid. And just like that, I'm back to sitting against a wall. I shut my eyes, but I can still see color swirling around the inside of my eyelids. Without any strength, I just sit there and pant. The taste of stomach fluid still comes up from my throat, and with each breath, burning my mouth. I heave again, but nothing comes out this time. Nothing but a guttural belch. Okay, calm down, calm down. I say to myself, barely recognizing my own voice. Not surprising, it feels like the only thing to wet my throat in decades was my own bile. I clutch my head to try to control the spin I'm feeling. After several minutes of trying to breathe calmly, my vision starts to settle. I still feel disoriented, but I can at least make out what's in front of me now. Again, I look around, trying to get my bearings. As I noted earlier, I'm in some alleyway, don't know where though. Tilting my head up, I can see that it's night. The buildings around me seem to stretch taller than they should. I look further in front of me. There are boxes blocking the alley. Their stats pretty high. I look down to the ground and something catches my eye. Slowly I bend over to reach over it, not wanting to upset my stomach anymore, and grabbed what seems to be a jacket. It's pretty big, I could stretch it out far past something that fit me. I wonder who left this here. Were they trying to cover me? Another headache hits the back of my head, and I clutch the side of my face. Ugh, it's starting to feel nauseous again. I rest my head against the wall and immediately feel uncomfortable. It didn't hurt, but I can tell I shouldn't have done that. I reach for the back of my head. I feel bandages in a lot of them, along with what I can only assume is crusted up blood. How the hell did I end up like this? The last thing I remember was hanging with Diana and making plans with Damien. I tried to recollect more as much as I can. It's all scattered, like a haze that's blocking me from my own memories. Oh fuck. Where's my cute slice of life VN? Well, I'm afraid to tell you this. You're not gonna get that. I tell with a haggard breath. I'm still hoping this is just a weird dream because I can't even remember my own name. I then spent the next half hour alternating between doing breathing exercises and having an existential crisis. The more I think about myself, the more I realize I don't know who I am. I'm thinking clearly, but there's not much to think about. All I know is Diana and Damien are very close to me, and I wish they were here right now. I feel a sort of sadness at all of the things I can't remember. All of my relationships and experiences, just gone. One thing's for sure, this is no dream. Maybe it's a nightmare? If it was, it'd be the most boring nightmare I've ever had. I say that, but I'm still fairly spooked. I've moved past the notion that I'm dreaming, however. The sensations I felt since waking up are too real. Even so, periodically, I pinch the skin on my forearm. I can definitely feel I'm pinching the skin, but I don't feel any pain. It's basically numb. Same with the back of my head. That blow I must have taken did a serious number on me. It doesn't take a doctor to figure out that's probably why I can't remember anything. Speaking of doctors, I replayed the memory of myself and Diana laughing at our professor. It's the only entertainment I have. Well, kind of. I also think back to that earlier memory. I've come to accept the fact that it was real. Despite the fact that my eyes were closed, it all felt so visceral to the point that I can't say it happened. Someone mentioned my loss of blood and someone else covered me up. Someone left me here, but who? All I have to go on is this jacket they left behind for me. It's simple enough, but I don't recognize the style. Not that I can talk about fashion. It's better than what I have on. I can't tell if I'm wearing hospital scrubs or a prison uniform. Wish I at least had some socks. The more I wake up, the more I realize how cold I am. I sigh. Eventually, I look toward the other side of the alleyway. I don't think I could move those boxes easily, if at all. But I should at least try to look for help. I'm starting to get annoyed with my body, as I still struggle to do the simplest of tasks. I can hear my panting echo softly through the alley, along with something else. The sound of footsteps. I try to hold my breath. I think someone's on the other side of those boxes. Do I call out to them? Do I hide? Not that there's much room to hide. Whoever's out there starts pulling the boxes out one by one. I don't know what's in those boxes, but they don't look easy to throw around. They're just chucking them like it's nothing. I can feel my knees start to tremble. A chill runs down my spine and my teeth start to chatter. Both my knees give and I'm back on my ass against the wall. The fear is starting to get overwhelming and my vision starts to blur again. There aren't many boxes left and something starts to show between the cracks. A light. A flashlight. Before I know it, the ray of light is completely covering me. It's a task to lift my arms to block the beam and even harder to keep them in the air. I was already struggling to move without fearing for my life. I don't think I could take much more of this. I'm getting overstimulated. I feel like I'm shutting down. Just as I start to succumb to my panic, the light suddenly shifts. Slowly, I open my eyes, peeking through the cracks of my fingers. The person? No. The beastman holding the gun moves one step closer. Don't. What should I give him? What should I give him? Don't. No. Don't move. He says in a gruff, commanded voice. If I was cold before, I'm frozen now. I'm just sitting here trying to follow his movements the best I can with what little I can see. Okay, is it still okay. Nothing's slowing down just yet. Got it. Through the slits of my fingers, I can ascertain one thing. He is a wolf, and a tall one at that. The wolf circles around me. I can see him clearly in my peripheral. He can see my face now, along with the terrified expression I'm wearing. Gun or not, he could rip me to shreds with just those claws. Not that it's much to rip apart. I don't stand a chance at running in my current condition. Hell, I can barely stand up. So I sit here, waiting to see what he's going to do with me. He's a few feet away, gun still pointed at me. Upon closer inspection, it looks to be the size of a pistol, but it doesn't look like any model I've ever seen. The wolf shifts his head, looking all over my body. My teeth start chattering again, reverberating through the alley. He walks up closer with intent. I shut my eyes. It's all I can do. This is the worst my breathing has been since I woke up. I can feel my empty stomach churn and my dehydrated eyes strain to tear up. The only thing that pulls me out from my panic attack is the feeling of something soft under my chin. He starts to slowly lift my head with his paw. His paw pads feel like worn leather under my chin. His breath is hot on my face. Now more than ever, I wish this was just a dream. The wolf squints his eyes and speaks to me. I can't make it out as the ringing in my ears is too loud. That's all I can muster. The wolf closes his eyes before putting his hand away. He sits in front of me. We're eye level with each other. Are you okay? Huh? He pauses once more before repeating himself again. Are you okay? I don't respond. I'm not in the right state of mind to. He seems to pick up on this. Calm down, I'm not going to hurt you. The wolf places the gun he was holding on the ground and slides it to the other side of the alley. See, if I wanted to, I would have already. That's one gun gone, but what about the one on his back? My eyes veer to it, which he notices. I'm not taking that one off. It would be too much work. He says matter-of-factly, before switching to a crisscross position. You okay? You okay? He looks me in the eyes again, before holding his paws apart in front of me. Breathe in. He pulls them closer, almost in a clapping motion. And breathe out. I'm slowly transitioning from panic to confusion, which I say is an upgrade. For some reason, the inflection in his voice sounds weird. He's speaking English undoubtedly, but something about it is off. I can't put my finger on it. Is it a dialect? Regardless, I do as he says and start to match my breathing with his movements. We do this for a while, and slowly but surely it seems to be working. With enough time and effort, and with the help of this wolf, I bring myself out of my self-induced panic attack. After one final deep breath, I manage to get back to just breathing through my nose. I'm still breathing faster than I would like to, but it's a start. There. How are we feeling? He takes a deep breath as well. I guess that did take longer than it needed to. Tired and dizzy? I finally drop my hands down for a moment before moving to hold my head. It feels like I swapped a panic attack for a headache. I'm not surprised. The wolf gets closer to me, to my head. Wow, I really don't like how close he's getting. You've lost a lot of blood. Gently, he holds my chin and shifts me to the right, revealing the back of my head. He leans in closer and takes a few sniffs. I can feel his breath again, and I start to get apprehensive. I instinctively pull back. Gentle or not, this really isn't helping with my anxiety. You're still scared. Huh? He leans in again. I can feel the wetness of his nose on my forehead as he trudges around my head before sniffing around some more. Sorry. The wolf says bluntly before he pulls back. Habit of mine. Okay? What's your name? He asks suddenly. I literally don't have an answer for him. I don't know. The wolf doesn't seem fazed by that. What do you know? I don't know. My emotions feel like a metronome, swapping between scared and confused at the drop of a dime. I'd like to believe he's right. If he wanted to hurt me, he would have already. Now that I think about it, I don't think he could hurt me either way, on the account of not feeling any pain. Well, that's not true. He could break my legs, and even if I couldn't feel it, I'd be at his mercy. That flash of imagery in my head makes me shudder. Wait here. Huh? His voice snaps me out of my imagination. He stands up and then moves near the alley entrance. I cock my head as I try to see what he's doing. The wolf wears a paw over his right wrist, and a small screen lights up in front of him. It seems to be coming out of a bracelet he's wearing. I squint, trying to make heads or tails of it. Seriously, where the hell am I? We certainly didn't have this kind of tech back on Earth. Whatever he's doing, he's tapping furiously away on it with his fingers. For a moment, he places his free paw over his chin. He looks deep in thought. All of a sudden, he turns his attention back to me, looking me over once more before tapping away again. He waits. Then I hear something, a notification? Then he starts tapping again for about a minute before sliding the screen away. Okay, can you stand? I'm going to take you home now. Here. The wolf walks up to me before starting to get me on my feet. He carefully gets under my armpits and lifts me up slowly, trying to keep me stable. How's that? Wait a minute. I stumble nearly to my knees and he catches me. It's okay, I can carry you if you want. I said wait! I raise my voice and the wolf's eyes widen a bit. I push him away, choosing to slump against the wall again. At least I'm still standing, even if barely. Who the hell are you? Where the hell am I? How do you know where I live? Even though my adrenaline from earlier has worn off, I'm starting to get hit with rising paranoia. I barely even know where I live. You can't seriously expect someone with a head injury to just go with something they don't even know, do you? Cry feisty for someone with a head injury. The wolf sighs before walking over, then sits down in front of me again so that I'm looking down at him. I'm kind of glad he did. My knees feel like they're about to give out and I sit back down on the ground. I don't know how to explain this without alarming you, but you're going through a fairly common experience we have around here. He then taps the side of his head, barring the head injury. What do you mean? The wolf stretches the back of his head. It's best that you know as little as possible unless absolutely necessary. That's a horrible way to build trust. I didn't mean to say that out loud, but I did mean it. I don't need your trust. I can take you by force if you really want me to. The fur on his neck bristles and my fear spikes again. He flexes back down before rubbing the back of his neck. Relax, it won't come to that if you just cooperate. I'll say this, I've done this before, many times. Done what? Taking humans home, amnesiac or not. How do you know where I live? The wolf pauses. Do you know where Resume is? No, should I? The wolf exhales, almost in relief. Whether or not you do doesn't matter to me. Resume is one of the few cities that's mainly just humans around here. Okay, so where's around here? The wolf shakes his head. We can talk about that later. Honestly, we've dallied long enough. Just know that I have contacts there. He lifts his paw, pointing to that weird bracelet. I've confirmed a meeting point to get you home safely. I open my mouth, to which he interrupts. And before you ask any more questions, I gave a description of your appearance, and they matched it up with someone who's missing. I close my mouth. I guess you have done this before. I'm kind of surprised in myself. I'm taking all this in way too quickly, aren't I? I guess when your head is nearly empty, anything new becomes acceptable. Regardless, I'm going to at least try to remain skeptical. How do I know you're not just setting me up? The wolf smirks at that. You don't. What would you be able to do in your current situation if I was, though? He has a point. Don't know where or who I am. I wouldn't be able to make it far. I sigh. I can't tell if my ears are still ringing or if there are alarm bells going off in my head. I resign myself. I really don't have a choice. Okay, fine. It's not like I trust you, though. That's right. I won't do anything to hurt you. You can count on that. We'll see, I guess. With that out of the way, the exhaustion is starting to catch up, and I stoop back to my familiar spot against the wall. I can barely stand up, let alone walk. Not to already impose, but you wouldn't happen to have any food or water, would you? The wolf thinks it over before turning towards the alley, listening. Yeah, we should probably have a quick bite to eat. Let me just... He walks over to the pile of crates and starts stacking them again, providing some decent coverage. There, that should be fine. I doubt anyone will go through the trouble to get through that. Besides you? Fair enough. Actually, that does make me curious. Before the wolf sits down, he plops the bag he had slung on his shoulder onto the ground. It looks a bit weird, almost like a violin case with its ankle strained out. Like an awkward trapezoid. Wait, I'm getting distracted. So, how did you know I was here? Oh. The wolf taps his snout with a couple of fingers. It was faint, but I could smell you a couple blocks away. He pauses. Well, your blood anyways. I see. Well, why did you go through the trouble of finding me? The wolf takes out what seems to be a canteen and places it in front of me, along with some kind of package wrapped in what feels like plastic. Afterwards, he moves to sit next to me against the wall. I take on a lot of odd jobs. I wasn't looking for you per se, I was just in the area where I caught your scent. He takes his own package, ripping it open. Some kind of food? You should consider yourself lucky. By the looks of it, you wouldn't have lasted another day or two. Looking over myself, I say he's right. I'm skinning bones with an empty stomach and a concussion. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of surprised I've made it this long. Slowly, I lean forward to pick up the canteen thing. I can feel the liquid inside, but I don't see a way to use it. It's a rectangular shape with no discernible opening. What? He looks up from whatever he's eating. There's water in here, right? How do I open it? He swallows. Oh! He leans over and slides his finger across the top. A small opening appears. There. It's got some nutrients in it that should help. Just drink it slow. I do as I told. Maybe it's because I'm so dehydrated, but this water does taste pretty rich. It's almost heavy. I choked on it for a moment, but swallowed it down soon, not wanting to waste any of it. I smacked my lips a bit, as if it was alcohol. You okay? Yeah, just a bit strong. Just drink it slowly. I nod, a tad embarrassed for my lack of coordination. Regardless, I'm thankful for the drink. My throat even starts to feel better in just a few minutes. But not wanting to drink it all myself, I mimicked what he did earlier to close the canteen. You know, on second thought... The wolf reaches over and takes the package he gave me. I'm just going to take a guess that, judging by how you reacted to that water, you can use something a bit lighter to eat. He rummages once again in his bag before handing me a small parcel. That should be a bit lighter. It doesn't really taste like much, but it's got some protein. Curious, I reach over and pick it up. It feels like it's wrapped in paper, though there are no labels. Hey Ben, how you doing? I'm doing this game. Doing this game now. And yes, I have read this. I have read Remember the Flowers before. I'm just gonna reread it again for this stream, only because I actually haven't been caught up with it in a minute. So this is a good excuse for me to actually do get caught up. Even what little strength I have, I open it fairly easily. Yes, loves, hearts. What's inside kind of looks like saltine crackers, but brown instead of manila. I lift one up and smell it. It's like beef jerky, but only faintly. If I'm being honest, they don't look very appetizing. Bakers can't be choosers, though. I take one of the cracker things and bite into it. Thankfully he's right, it doesn't taste like much. A little salty and a bit sweet, but not much else. Definitely the texture of a cracker. I'm just glad I got something to drink. After a few minutes of eating, I looked over to the wolf. He's enjoying his meal. At least I think he is. Man, how did I end up here? Now that I have time to think, I realize something. I don't recognize his voice from the ones I've heard before. I decided to speak up about this. Oh, right. I think there were people who left me here, but I can't really remember. The wolf looks over to me with a curious look. Do you remember anything about them? No, not really. Just a little bit of a conversation. Probably right after I got this dent in my head. I pat the crumbs off of my shirt and hold up the jacket I woke up with. I have this, but that's it. The wolf lifts it over before he grabs it from my hands and smells it. He then scrunches his nose. I guess he didn't like how it smelled because he balls it up and tosses it to the side. I think it would be best to leave it here. Take my word. Oh, okay. I start thinking to myself. Whoever left that for me, I think they had my best interest in mind. The voice seemed reassuring at least. Although to be fair, they did leave me here like this. I should be more careful. A voice isn't enough to judge a character. Oh wait. What's your name? We had such a shaky start that I completely forgot to ask. My name? He pauses and then sighs. Cooper, just don't tell anyone. Why? You asked a lot of questions, you know that? To be fair, you're making it hard not to. Just eat your food. Okay. Huh. Once again, I do as I'm told. Sitting in this strange alley with this strange beastman eating this strange food. I wonder, how would Damien react to this situation if he were here with me? Bet he tried to carry me so we could get as far from this place as possible. A little fragment flashes through my mind of Damien giving me a piggyback ride. I think he convinced me to play basketball with him and he whooped my butt. I remember being tired, just not as much as I am now. I sigh. I really miss his piggyback rides. I don't think this resumed place is my home. It's not much, but I have some memories of where I lived. Oh? I just don't know how to make sense of all this. I'm not surprised. I just know one thing. I really want to go home. Well, as far as I'm aware, Resume is your home. He pauses. Even if it's not, Resume is known for getting people back to where they belong. What do you mean? Well, Resume is a hotspot for humans. Almost a sanctuary. I'm sure they could get you back to wherever you came from. I hope so. Cooper flicks his ear at that. I guess he can sense my dejection, though I'm not really hiding it. Where do you come from? Nowhere worth mentioning. He dodges my question and stands up, listening intently. I think it's time we head out. How are you doing? Well, better, but I don't think I'm in any condition to move around too much. Can you walk? I grunt as I try to stand up. It wasn't much, but that combination of water and protein crackers is at least giving me enough strength to stand and walk a bit. Imagine living in a world full of furries and being a human. That would be so sad. Really? That sounds like a dream, honestly. Kind of, but I don't think for very far along. We'll take breaks, and if it comes to it, I can carry you. Okay. I stretch, popping all of my joints again, but this time it feels really good. Just let it be off my butt for a bit. I should mention it when we're out of the alley. It'll be best to keep talking to a minimum. Why? Cooper's stance shifts, looking toward the opening of the alley, then back at me. There are people trying to find you as we speak. And that's bad? Very. I can't disclose much, but I'll say this. Your life will be a living hell if they find you. Maybe it's just that I'm getting more lucid, but I'm not really fazed by that. That kind of worries me. So wait, are you under contract? In a sense. Like I've said, I've done a lot of escort missions. It tends to be easier to less people know. That doesn't sound skeevy or anything? Cooper looks out to the alley, then back to me. Look, there's a lot out there, and with your current mental state, I don't think it'd be a good idea to overwhelm you. Maybe, I don't know. I close my eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Being left in the dark ain't much better. You'll be fine. I'm sure you've been through worse. Wouldn't know. Cooper actually chuckles at that before returning his gaze to the alleyway opening. Gotta do this in a way that's not suspicious. I think I'll leave that to you. Didn't really offer. Fair enough. After about 5 minutes, he manages to remove most of the boxes fairly quietly. We're free to leave the alley. I'm both nervous and excited. You said we shouldn't talk, right? Only if absolutely necessary. Whisper if you need to. I'll probably hear it. Why? Can we write? Do you have an axiom? A what? I'll take that as a no. He points to his bracelet. I can communicate through this if I had text, but that's it. What about pen and paper? Cooper looks at me as if I said something truly bizarre. I don't know how to write like that. Wait, what? I didn't use them much outside of class, but I at least know how. Okay. You do? Weird. What the? Like you're one to talk. Okay. Little bit of a rant. I don't know why. This brought me back. Kids these days are losing the plots because now they're in college and stuff, and they'll like have all these essays and papers to write and stuff, and a lot of them keep admitting to using ChatGPT and other bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck? You're not gonna learn? You're not gonna learn this shit? Kids these days are going to be illiterate in the future. It's actually kind of sad. I can't. I just can't. And these kids are in college now. They're doing this in college. I can't trust anyone in the future. I can't trust any future workers now. Because I'm gonna be like, did you use AI to do your work in college? That's like, it's really important to know that. I hate ChatGPT with a burning passion. Literally same, and it's really fucking annoying that people try to defend it. I think to myself, grumbling. Oh, right. He looks over me again. I'm slowly getting used to that. What should I call you? Huh? Oh, I'm not sure. The thought hadn't crossed my mind. What do I call myself? Cooper pauses again, thinking. Well, until you come up with something, I'll just call you human. Okay. Before we officially venture out, we do a bit of cleaning in the alley. Cooper tells me we should try to avoid leaving anything behind, sans that jacket he tossed. Thankfully, there's not much. Just the wrappings from our food and... Oh. I forgot Cooper's other gun. It'd definitely lead to trouble if we left something like that lying around. So creative. Everybody's so creative! Sarah looked like you weren't supposed to be doing that, but you did! As I'm about to try and pick it up, I think to myself, Is it a good idea to touch something like this? Hey, Cooper, you left your gun over here. Is it okay for me to pick it up? Oh, good call. Yeah, the safety is on. Just try not to slide anything on it. Slide anything? On a gun? Okay, I know my motor skills are a bit rusty, but I should be able to pick up a gun without firing it, right? I gulp. I'm hovering my hand over it, inches away before a yellow arm invades my vision. Relax, you're not gonna set it off. The wolf casually picks it up and even twirls it. See? If you say so. Here. Cooper then carefully takes my arm and plants the pistol into my hand. It's cold to the touch and smooth. It almost feels like a smartphone screen. My grip is firm on it, and I don't want to drop it. Still, I do turn around slowly, getting a decent look at it. It looks cool. It's not what I normally picture a gun to look like, though. It's sleek and pretty light. However, it's still a gun, and I don't trust myself with it. It's, neat. Here, take it back. Cooper takes it and holsters it back at his hip. I guess giving you a self-defense weapon is out of the question. Would that be necessary? In your position, yes. Why does whoever they are want me so bad? Classified. Figures. You ready to head out? As ready as I'll ever be. He takes out his bracelet, or at him, and starts to tap away at it. Oh, that's cool. That's a feature I didn't see when I first played this. But do you want to know how deep I was in this game before? I was there when I was there for Cooper's old sprite, where his face looked more scrunched up. He didn't have a snout. That's how far back I was with this game. Ugh. Now that I'm close, I can kind of make out what he's doing. The screen is pretty clear, even while being somewhat translucent. I can't make out a lot, though. It looks blurry, almost as if it's censored. You can read that. I can. You can't. He swipes away the screen. No offense, but I'm not going to register you in it. Okay. Whatever that means. We're going to head to a nearby plaza. It's late, but there should be a shop open. For what? I figured you could use a change of clothes. He grimaces. Glad I just got paid. You don't have to do anything, I'll manage. That's nice of you, human, but it's more out of necessity. Your current getup would be suspicious of just about anyone. I look down at what I'm wearing. He has a point, although I'm not sure what kind of fashion they have here. If I could choose, probably something with sleeves. The stars along my arms and legs are kind of off-putting, especially to me. Do you have any suggestions? Yeah, I'm not the person to ask about clothes. We'll figure it out when we get there. Okay. We both look over the alley, making sure it's empty enough. Alright, let's start moving. Tug on my sleeve or something if you need anything, and remember, keep quiet. Okay. With that, we make our way out of the alley. Okay. I know it's a bit early, but I believe we should probably... Okay. Well, first, let's get through this. Perfect. Well, it's a bit early, but I'm gonna end up here because, like I said, I do have work coming up. Also, I probably need to get air in my tires right now. Perfect. Anyway, yeah, I can't wait. Yep, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Add another. So sad, literally. It's gonna be so much fun. Add another furry visual novel to the roster. I believe I'm going. Okay, so I think tomorrow is gonna be more promises to keep, and then the next day is gonna be arches, and then gonna go back to this on Thursday, and then if anyone's watching this, if you're gonna be at FandomCon in San Jose, I'll be there as well on the weekend. So if you see me, come say hi. If you want to know what I look like, check out my TikTok. But anyway, Thank you all so much for watching. If you're watching the VOD, don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/XenoTheTabloid to see me go live, in the gayest, most possible voice possible. Bye. Literally, yes. And go ahead and follow me on Twitter. And Blue Sky says that I'll be using Blue Sky a lot more frequently now, thanks to my little mod right over here. Perfect. Well, I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.